Good afternoon, gamers. It is me. Just turning my thing off. Oh, okay, right. Yes, that works. I just need to turn on music now. I need to also move this a little bit over here. I'm just going to do this because it's starting to get kind of cold in here. Right. Nope, not that playlist. This one. Wrong audio device. There we are. Right. So, we are going to pretty much move on where we left off and work on some new plant monsters. It's going to be a bit of a shorter stream today because I have to, do a bunch of cooking, immediately after the stream. And I don't want to do that too late. So I will probably only be going for about an hour and a half today, but I will be streaming again tomorrow. So realistically, it doesn't really make a difference. Oh, got my throat. Oh, God. Oh. Right. So let me sort of get my bearings. Nope, that's the wrong sticky note. This one. So today I want to focus on making new plant monsters because I've not really made that many. I've made some, but I haven't made anywhere near as much as I would want. So that is more or less at the top of my to-do list. I think probably my number one biggest thing is that the highest CR plant creature in all of 5th edition, I believe, is CR 9 and is the corpse flower, I believe. I will just confirm that, but I'm fairly certain that is the case. Yes. Yes, it is. Oh no, and Treants. No, Treants. Treants are CR9, the corpse flower is CR8, so... What challenge ratings do we have that are higher? The Phytohydra is CR10. The Green Vise is CR10. The Oaken Defender is CR12. The Obliviax is CR9. The Phytohydra is CR10. The Treant Druid is CR11. Oh shit, I don't want that. Tabbed into a completely different fucking website. Jesus. Where was I? Treant Swarmkeeper, also CR12. So that's sort of my biggest thing that I want to do. Is I want to make higher CR plant creatures. That's not necessarily what I'm going to do today, but it's definitely one of the things I want to do. Is, where is our CR17 plant? Where's our CR25 plant? Where are those things? So that's definitely something on my to-do list. Some kind of plant with the Titan subtype, or something like that. Like a I don't know, a Gaia something. Don't know, just sort of floating around. I might write that down as just sort of a concept. Damn. Owned again. Emotionally destroyed. Unbearable. Okay, right, yeah. Right, so I do have a couple ideas that I'm kind of sat on, but I think one of the main things is I want to focus on coming up with new stuff and just kind of making it. And I might start by looking through some of the art that I have available to me. The problem with that being, of course, that basically all the art that I have is monsters that I'm using anyway. So, yeah, not... plants. There is this thing, which is kind of cool. Damn. It's like your creature size, you know. Yeah, like I'm using basically all of this art as just like monsters that are in the book, which is not a problem I had with Golem. I could just sort of pick a Golem that kind of fit, and I bought some stock art as well, obviously, but like, even so. What's a Briar Vex? It's an Eberron creature. What is this thing? They're basically vine spawn. They are basically vine spawn. Okay, right. So this is our. It's just not very interesting. Like, look at this thing. Oh, hang on. It doesn't want to. Maybe this one. There we go. This thing is like just not very interesting. It's just kind of a guy. And like having plant creatures that are just kind of guys is fine, but I don't want to just like this is just sort of like. This feels very 90s, even though I know for a fact that this is a 3.5 creature, and thus this art was made in like the mid-2000s. I don't like there's things I like about it, but it is, I don't know, there's just something kind of bland about it. Maybe it's because it looks like an MMO monster. Yeah, that's probably it. I think it looks like something you would fight. Yeah, I think you might be right. But I think, yeah, definitely my biggest problem with making new monsters is finding art for them is going to be a fucking nightmare. So I think, if anything, what I should do is start with the art and work my way backwards. So let me grab drive through and start having a look. Let me have a look at plant stock art, assuming there is any, mind you. Publisher resources, stock art. Hey, I'll just put this here because there's not really any harm in people being able to see this. Ooh, this is cool. I mean, okay, no, this is just like one piece of art. Okay, I mean, it could be good filler art, but alien plot. Okay. I kinda like this thing. And then there's this guy as well. I might use these. Yeah, these are good. I like these. What is this? Oh, this is for Pathfinder. Interesting. Have fun with your endless essays. That sounds exclusively bad. Ooh, what is this thing? Oh, okay. Okay. That's fun. I like this guy. This guy's kind of cool. I think the problem is no, yeah, that's fair. Publicly bad. This thing looks a bit too fleshy. Hang on. What are these? They do look like cocoa beans. Kinda. Sorta. No, they kinda do. I have an idea for this guy. I know what I'm doing with this thing. Problem is spending a fuck ton of money on stock art is like not something I. This is kind of bland. I don't care for this for that one. This thing, however, god damn. Okay. Yo. That is fucking good. Wow, yeah, okay. I'm using this thing, and this stock art is very cheap as well. Like this is you're seeing some of the production side of this as well, which I never really expected to show like at all. Of like going through but it's kind of a necessity for me to come up with cool ideas for monsters. I'm gonna get some custom art in this book, mind you. Like AJ's gonna be doing some art for the Danderlings. But like this is a small project. Like I am looking at doing like, you know, like little like small projects here. Forest of Doom. That's just a vine spawn. That's boring. Pumpkin golem. Potted eye stalk. That is horrible. And if it wasn't black and white, I would use it in a heartbeat. But I don't really want to use it in black and white. It's also like $6 for a black and white piece of stock art, which is, I'm gonna be real with you, is really not worth the money. I didn't look at this thing. I should have done, but I didn't. I'll consider that. I'll put this on my maybe list, that's for sure. These two, I like these a lot. This thing is fun. I like this thing. I will consider using this, but I'm not sure. It's purple duck. This is also purple duck. I'll put these guys together. Right, I'm gonna move these onto another tab, just to sort of get them out of the way. This one. call it purple guy. That's I don't want to be associated with that. Purple fellas. So I'm gonna save these for the time being. I'll keep them open in a separate tab. I really like the because I was looking at cocoa plants, and it kind of looks like this thing has like little cocoa beans hanging off of it. So well, as you can see by the name, was going to make a Cocoapult. It is a cocoa plant that has grown a sense of malevolence and likes to, well, maybe not even malevolence. Maybe it's just fiercely protective. It's like an animal as opposed to like a treant. That's another treant I didn't make. I'll put that on the old list. That's where all the lore is going to go in there. I wanted to make a treant sapling. That was on my list. Either way. Ooh. Cocoapult. It is a huge plant. It is unlined. 15 AC. 40 feet. Yeah, this thing's got 4 legs. It runs around. CR7 feels like a good number for this thing. Where is my CR calculator? Here we go. $2,900 plus 3. We'll move this back this way. Languages, it doesn't do languages. Where's the treant? It's another. Yeah, and 12 dexterity. 1, 2, 3. I feel like this thing should probably have like tremor sense or something, maybe? Hmm. Yeah, no, we'll keep this as is. Very simple sort of stat line here. Oh. Melee weapon attack. It's 9 to hit, reach 5 feet, 1 target, hit. I need a deep growth. Maybe let me try. Who's the Minotaur Demon Prince? What's his name? Search Demon Lord. No, Demon Prince. Let me search Minotaur. That might. No, I remember. I remember his name. It's Baphomet. I forgot his name, and then I remembered his name. Let's see on DC. So it's 9, 8, 17. The Cocoapult makes one slam attack. And 1 fist or stomp attack. Let me look at... Oh, what's a creature that, like, grabs you and then can't grab anyone else? Ooh, Constrictor Snake. Takes time to start of each of the Cocoapults' turns. Look at the Glibberizu. Let's go back to the Constrictor Snake. So Cocoapult, let's give it its fling move. I like fling abilities because they're fun. Just space that the Cocoapult can see. On a failure, the thrown target stops in that creature's space, and that creature takes the same amount of damage as the thrown target is not prone. Sure, yeah, that's fine. Replace one attack with the use of Fling. Just yeet someone 120 feet. That's like 12 d6. That's maybe a little much. 66 is probably a lot fairer. Oh, I can't spell melee. Ranged weapon. Attack. That's 9. Hit. Range. What is the range on the treant? What's the range on a catapult, actually? That's probably... No, not the spell. Oh, come on. There's gotta be a catapult, right? I thought catapults were a thing. Silence, computer. There's no catapult, but there is a trebuchet. Based. Hang on. Let's find the range of a catapult, I guess. Catapult range. 500 to 1,000 feet. Look at me. That sounds like a long and short range to me. I mean, I'll probably just make it the same as trebuchet, I'll be real, but 500 to No. Oh God, do they use commas for ring? And they must use commas, right? Yes, they do. Yeah. They definitely use them for 4-digit and higher numbers. One target. Hit. What kind of damage are we looking at here? Oh no, it's 300 to 1200. Hit. How much damage does the Treant do with its rock attack? That's of import. Yes, just quite a lot. It's a pretty significant amount of damage. Is the answer to that question. However, is it enough damage? Because I am going to wager a bet and say no. I also haven't done a stomp, melee weapon attack, one prone creature. I love how it's like, oh, I'll crawl away, and it's like, nah, stomps on you, buddy. This thing is not going to end up being CR7, but I'm okay with that. That's fine. The thing is, at the moment, is it's just like a big guy that has like a bunch of special attacks. It doesn't have any special, like interesting special abilities, I think is kind of the issue at the moment. Yeah. So the slam attack will do... So say it does slam and stomp. So that's 22 plus 28. That's 50 points of damage. That's the top end of CR7, so that's not that bad off, sort of on a first look. 28, damn, that's nowhere near. I should do way more damage than that. Plus slam plus fist plus... That's about 41 damage, which is honestly nothing special. Apparently puts it at about CR7, but I feel like the rock should do way more. 16 AC, it is huge, has a good amount of hit points, or it has a good it is susceptible to fire, but that's not really a big deal. Alluring aroma. Mind-numbing aroma. That's there. There we go. Pacificate, is that a word? Yes. Sweet smelling aura of pacification. When a creature starts to turn the area and can smell. Succeeds automatically. Let me look at. I think ghouls have this kind of tech. No. Whenever a creature. Yeah, this thing needs to become like that. Let's make. Wait, where? Oh, I scrolled up too far. That's why. Let's succeed on DC 17 Wisdom saving throw. Where's Ray of Enfeeblement? Disadvantage on attack rolls, ability checks, and it deals only half damage with weapon attacks. There we go. Construct. As does any creature immune to the charmed condition. There we go. So it has its mind-numbing aroma. It's a siege monster. It throws rocks at you. It stomps on you. I like this thing. This ability, I think, makes this creature a lot more interesting. Also increases its survivability by, like, a lot. I am, however, going to massively increase the damage of this rock, because I want to. 8d10. I don't know, I'm just throwing that number. I'm just, like, pull that number out of my ass. I'm going to see what that actually means. It means 50 damage. I'm okay with that. So if it throws a rock at you, which it's going to, because it can hit you from 300 feet away, it's going to hit you. And yeah, you're going to take 50 points of damage. I might reduce it to 7d10 just because it can do that from so far away. This is definitely the kind of monster that a DM that really wants to kind of leverage its power against the players can do very easily by being like, oh yeah, it's the top of a 300, or it's 200 feet away on top of a big hill. And it's just throwing rocks at like a village or whatever, because they took one of its cocoa plants or some shit. And anyone who gets close to it, they just pick them up and just throw them off a cliff. Um. Yeah, this thing is like comically really dangerous in like a fun way. And I'm always a fan of like creatures that are really scary, but in like a novel and sometimes kind of silly way. Yeah, this thing's probably going to go to CR8 now. It does have probably the equivalent of like the stench ability. It's much better than that, but it does effectively have the equivalent of it, and I will give it 11d10. No, that's not enough. There we go. 15d12. 5 15s is 75. Yes. For a total of 172 hit points. This thing will fuck you up. I am a big fan of it. I think it is very dumb in sort of in a sort of fun, silly way. And that's it. Those are exactly the kind of creatures that I really like. Is it's powerful and scary, but has like that tiny little hint of being kind of silly, but not to the point where it's the kind of jokes in D&D I like are the ones that are very plain and in your face, in a way where it's just like oh, that's the joke. It's something that's mildly amusing rather than something that's like really funny, because really funny is not universal and also is super annoying. Like, it doesn't matter how funny a joke is at your table, if it permeates and goes on for like 15 minutes, it stops being funny, like probably long before that. Like that kind of like play at the table is just not fun. But having, like it's a Cocoapult. It's a cocoa tree that throws rocks at people, so it's a Cocoapult. That's fun. That's like it's like, oh, it's a chocolate tree that wants to kill you. Like that's cool. But also like there's a little hint of being kind of dumb. Right, so up this thing to CRA. I'm going to assume 3,400. 3,900. No. Means I have to change one less number though, so I guess there's that. This thing, I like this thing a lot. I'm very happy with this thing. This is cool. I'm going for about an hour now, which is surprising, actually, but either way, have I got any tea? No, there's no tea left. Rip. So I can close the Cocoapult art. I really like the weird like alien plant things. I think my only sort of qualm with them is that the Artuks do exist from Spelljammer, and they are like, they're kind of cool. Like I kind of like them. They're silly and kind of stupid, but they're evil psionic plants from space. That's kind of cool. Their leaders are called Artuk Star Horrors. That's kind of sick. Oh, they all seem to be variations of the same creature. Okay, that's kind of an interesting way to. I mean, it's kind of a lazy way to make creatures. I'm gonna be real with you, but it's an interesting way to make creatures also. So could be like plants from the astral sea, or plants from limbo, plants from the abyss. Be kind of cool. Because one of them is sort of like sort of like this thing is kind of tree-like almost, like it's got like roots here. It has like these bulbs, but it's like a flower. Whereas this one is distinctly like this is a pitcher plant. Like this is based very specifically on a well-known plant. But I don't know what these are beyond, like, are they intelligent? Do they move? Because it doesn't look like they move. I mean, maybe they move? Yeah, maybe they move. I don't know. I like them. They're cool. And there's definitely more of them than just these two. It's like I provide 2 pieces of art, and then there's like, there's like 2 more or whatever that don't have art because they don't have art. Yeah. Not sure. I'll leave these for now and wait to sort of come up with sort of a specific vibe for them. Like they're definitely evil, because I mean you can't be that shade of purple and be good. Like let's be real. Like that's the most evil shade of purple there is. I like this thing as well. This thing is like this. It has like the hook and it comes out and like stabs you and pulls you, and it has like these stupid hooks. The hooks here are kind of dumb, I'm gonna be real, but this, like doing a scorpion, like get over here kind of situation, pulling you in, that's awesome. I really like that. So oh Christ, sorry about that. I think I like inhaled some dust or something. Like that was bad. It was not a fun time. Well. This thing is also cool. I do like this thing quite a bit. This sort of like wriggling mass of like, this could be the Titan if I can come up with like what it is and why it is this. So it very clearly floats as well. That's like, because why would it be holding a tree above the? It's not walking on these. This thing is gigantic. This thing has to fly. But at that point, does it stop being a plant and start being an eldritch horror? Where do you draw the line between like plant and eldritch horror? Like when does something? Yeah, when does something stop being a plant and start being an aberration? Because I'm not sure. So I feel like this thing being like a plant that's been touched by the far realm. Oh wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe this thing is a beholderkin. Maybe this thing is a beholderkin. Does a beholder dream of what it perceives to be nature's beauty and make this thing? So I don't know if I like kind of the eldritch horror kind of aspect more than beholderkin, because beholders are just kind of like inherently silly. Like they're scary because they can kill you, but they're inherently they're like comically paranoid, and like some of them are like, you know, they're like devilishly intelligent, yet also like kind of stupid because they can't grasp the thought process of like humanoids. Like it's just something they can't do. I say they can't do that. They can, but most of them don't. Like, they're sort of like, every aspect about a beholder is sort of inherently so over the top that it is comical, and I do like that kind of humor in D&D. Like, it does work. It's just, I think you struggle to have a serious villain who is a beholder. Like, there's a lot of dissonance between, like, serious, sensible villain and everything a beholder is. Because this thing does look kinda goofy, but I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's a cop-out as well, just to, like, make it a beholder. Just because it's got tentacles and has lots of eyes. I'll have to talk to some people about this, because not because it's like a big contentious issue, but like I don't know what the more interesting direction to go in is, because I'm leaning more towards making it a wholly unique creature all its own, but at the same time, making it a beholderkin is quite an attractive option. I kind of want to do that, but I want to do both of them, and I can't do both of them because there's one piece of art. I have to pick what it is. I guess another thing of import is that this would basically have to be like the biggest kind of beholder and potentially the most powerful kind of beholder, which is kind of dumb. Like, beholders are like CR13. This thing would have to be scarier than that. Because, I mean, look at it. This is a tree. This is like an oak tree. It's holding it like a fucking, I don't know, like a fucking Wiimote out here. Like, I don't know why Wiimote was my go-to, but like, he's about to play fucking Wii tennis with this fucking oak tree. This thing's gigantic. I don't know. But maybe it's too goofy for it to be like, all of its like funny little eyes, and like, maybe I have license to like, yeah, it doesn't say anything about altering it, like, by removing the eyes. There's always something that's kind of iffy of, like, what if I want to, like, change one minor detail in the stock art? Can I do that? Because I think generally the answer is probably no, but I don't really know if that's the case. Or, frankly, if any of these people care. Because it's not like any motherfucker on here is, like, selling stock art as, like, a part of a big fucking conglomerate. They're all solo artists working under company names just for the tax purposes, and that's it. But even so, I'm not 100% on what I want to do with this thing. I like it, but I don't know what I want to do. I'm very happy with the Cocoapult though. I think this thing is very fun. It has a lot of unique abilities that do lots of different things. It's not the kind of monster where, like, oh, it grapples one person and hyper-focuses that person until they die. This thing grapples you, stomps your friend flat, throws your other friend, throws the guy off the cliff, and then picks up a rock and hucks it at someone else. Like, this thing has a lot of stuff that it can do, and I like that. I think that's fun. Um... Hmm. I'm gonna do one of the other things on my list. I believe it was suggested to me by someone last week. I can't remember who it was. Yeah, I forget who it was. But it was suggested to me last time. I think was to make a plant mimic. I might call it a garden mimic. That's kind of more interesting as a name than just a plant mimic. Oh, that's a thing. Did I? I did. Okay, cool. So let me grab a mimic, because this thing is going to be very, very similar to a mimic, but it's not going to be quite the same. So I will use the mimic stat block as a basis for this creature, but beyond that, it is going to be fairly notably changed. Oh, that's not what I want. Snag this. Why does it do pseudopod and bite that way around? It should be like they're alphabetized like that. Medium plant. Shape changer neutral. I made this thing weaker than no. I'll keep it as fairly well made. First creature today, as a bit of a shorter stream today as well. I'll probably be finishing in just under half an hour. But I made the Cocoapult. It throws rocks. It has a mind-numbing aroma. It throws your friends off cliffs. It slams you. It punches you, and it grabs you, and it stomps on you. It's a fun time. Damage immunities. The mimic polymorphs into an object. So making the plant mimic as well from last time. I'm gonna make this thing probably slightly stronger. Maybe, notably stronger than a regular mimic. Bigger, but also dumber. Sandbox tree. I'm not familiar. Sandbox tree. Oh, it's this thing. It shoots thorns or something, right? Like it Is that? Oh, they don't shoot the spikes, their fruits explode. That's cool though. That's cool. I may well do I very well may well do something like that. That's I will add that to the list. So let's see if I remembered how to word spider climb. No, I missed. Without needing to make an ability check, I put without making. Spider climb, that makes sense. CR4 was 1100. Oh damn, that's pretty cool. It doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I saw the stuff about the exploding fruit. I thought they fired the spines out and the seeds were in there or something, but I guess it wouldn't be a tree at that point, right? Ooh. Um... Let's see if I got amorphous right. Close. Very close. Can move through a space, not spaces. Oh. Each creature there must make a DC. A toxic gas and temporary radius around it. Each creature in the area. Let's make a DC. It's DC 14, yeah, DC 14. Constitution saving throw. Taking. So 3d6? Yeah. Hmm. CR3 offensive. Good stuff. Let's add back in the Good lord. Shut up. Fucking calendar. Christ. I remember earlier on going, oh yeah, I should turn that fucking reminder off, and I fucking didn't. Oh, crap. I fucking hate how loud that shit is. It's so annoying. Right. So the grandfather's creature takes acid damage. It's quite a simple creature. It is like an upgraded mimic. That's sort of like the vibe. Which I do quite like. I think it's very cool. I haven't given it hit points yet. That's a thing. Let's give it 14 AC. Hit points. How many hit points? So it's currently. There's 9. Yeah, it's like fuck all hit points. $123. 19d8. I could just make this thing. I might just make this thing tankier. That's probably a better idea. 120. 16. 3 16s is 72. No, it's 48. Oh, it's 4 16s is 72. I think. No. It's 48. Oh, I there we go. Typed in the wrong number. This thing, yeah, I like this thing. I think it's different enough from a mimic, I feel, to sort of have its own sort of space, and be its own thing. My only concern is I'm not gonna have enough. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to write this much lore on a garden mimic. Like, that's just not something I'm gonna be able to do. Like physically, because there's not that much to say about this thing. There's maybe enough for like 3 big paragraphs worth of text, which will bring me up to about here, which is like not even half. So I don't know what I could make like a garden mimic sprout or something like that, but I will likely leave that for another time. Yeah, I think I'm like, obviously I've only made a couple creatures today, but I've also decided on a lot of other things that I want to do, and I'll probably make a start on those things tomorrow if I can. But yeah, I am probably gonna head off here though, because I have food to cook and I am very hungry. So yeah, I'm gonna probably go do that. I need to like post the VOD and stuff like that as well before I do that. That's gonna take me about 10 minutes, so I may well stop here. I will be back tomorrow. Should be about 5 p.m. I'll be starting, and I will go for, give or take, the sort of the normal amount of time. I'm sort of getting to a position where I kind of want to sort of take a break from this for a little while, but I'm not sure. Like I'm enjoying making the monsters, and I've had a good time making the ones that I've made, but I'm sort of in a position where I'm like, I kind of want to do something else for a little while, maybe just for like a couple weeks, just take a break. But I'm not sure. I will make that decision like later. I imagine tomorrow will be the last stream before the new year as well. I'm not gonna confirm whether that's the case or not, but it's very likely going to be the last stream of the year. I may decide to stream. I definitely won't be streaming next week, but I may decide to stream at some point in the week after Christmas, but honestly, it's unlikely. I am trying to take those 2 weeks off, like, as much as I can, and I'm still running like more than one game in those 2 weeks. I think I'm running at least 3 games in that 2 week period. But normally I would be running 6 or 7, so I guess like ultimately I'm running less. But even so, I do have a new project I want to get started on and start working on, like pretty sharpish, like quite soon. And I will probably spend some of my time during the break starting to iron that out, maybe make a start on it properly. That's a small project that I want to get done. But yeah, that's sort of the plan. I am gonna head off now, though. I hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I will be back tomorrow, where I will work on some more monsters. See ya.